Hi, Andrea. Thanks for joining me today as part of the Get to Know Gold series. We launched the Get to Know series last year as a way to see how our gold class businesses have been and the stories about how they got there. So I guess to start us off, can you please let us know or tell us about yourself and the shop history?
Yeah, I sure can. And thank you. This is a great initiative. I think, so our business has been in operation for over 50 years. Last year, we got to have a huge celebration to do a big shout out to the business. It was a really exciting time. And we had lots of media attention within the industry as well. So we were able to sort of take that message out to our clients. But so we kind of started with, it's a bit of a typical story where Craig's parents had started the business. They're in partnership with another couple, bought them out a year later, and then done a few small expansions and that along the way. Unfortunately for Craig, his father passed away when he was 21. So he ended up running the business from a very early age. So had to learn very quickly, all the ins and outs of the business side of it, not just about the apprenticeship that he had just completed. So we were together at the time, so we've been together for quite some time now. So very interesting stage. So he ended up in partnership with his mum for a long time, and then we ended up from that point. We bought the business we bought her out in 2010. So it was a lengthy process, and I think if anybody has been through that process, where they've had like a second generation come in and try to sort of step up into those roles, it can be a tricky time, and it did take some time to get across the line, but we were able to achieve it, and then we've never really looked back. So yeah, it's great.
Yes, it's quite a, I guess, rich history, especially with the two generations that we just mentioned.
Yeah, and we still get people that come in and say, "Oh, we know Craig's dad," and family history in Mackay itself, in our little town, where we've got where they come to us still and say, your father fixed my father's car, or there's like third or fourth generation that are coming in now to get their cars fixed. So yeah, it's awesome. I love the history of it. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, that's so lovely. Well then, thanks for that. How did your business get involved with I-CAR Australia and then I guess ultimately Gold Class?
We got involved. So when I-CAR moved into Australia, we were at a time when we were trying to make a decision as to how we wanted our shop to proceed forward. Mm-hmm. And I would have to take my hat off to my husband on this front. It was his idea. And as much and all as I get cranky at him for not sort of sharing the accolade, but he literally had stepped up and said, I honestly believe this is what the industry's needs, is further training postgraduate, because we've got such a huge gap in the market. So if you've never seen these vehicles, or you've got technicians who finished 20 years ago, the vehicles are nothing like they were back then. So it's really important that you focus on that training aspect. So we jumped on board way back at the start, and I'm told recently that we were one of the first shops in the country to undertake I-CAR Australia training. And I think we need to take that on board and sort of roll with that. So we received our accreditation as the first shop in Australia to do so, and have had that accreditation for the last 8 years, or nearly 9 years now it would be. So it is something that we're very proud of, because it's a culture change and shift within our business that we had to sort of adapt to. So yeah, I'm really, really proud of the guys for continuing that. So
yeah, that's awesome. I guess you've obviously got quite a bit of longevity when it comes to training. What has been your experience with the courses, and did you have any preferred course delivery, or how do you guys do your training?
When we first started, it was a very it wasn't something that we had done a lot of as far as an industry goes. So we had a lot of raised eyebrows about, why do this? Why incur this expense? So we had to look very internally. So the structure of our business and where we wanted ourselves to be in the market. So we felt that this was one of those things that we could use internally. So rather than use an external force to guide us to a point, we decided we wanted to be a leader in the market. So we wanted to have this knowledge, have this experience, and then market as such. So for us, it was never about matching to, say, external companies like insurance companies, for instance, who were looking at the road. It's called Road to Gold now. When we first undertook this journey, it wasn't that at all. It was just, let's start this training and see what happens. Platinum became a thing after we'd started, and so did the Gold Repairer Network. And then, so we'd actually become accredited, and then we had that accreditation before the insurance companies had sort of started saying, hey, we need this. So we kind of had that, and we were prepared and ready to go. But we found it was more advantageous to us to use it in our marketing in our region, rather than let an insurance company or any external force guide that. So it's very important to us that it was an internal thing. As far as the courses go, we kind of hitched onto organising a trainer to come to us, because it was very difficult. It would have nearly tripled the cost for us to send each technician to Brisbane, say, to have the training, because we would have had accommodation and flights and etc. and all that. So we found we were able to, at the time, see this is well pre-COVID, where we had the training come to us. So we would shut the shop for a Friday afternoons, have training sessions in the afternoon Friday, and then 2 on Saturdays, so that we were able to condense the training down. We had technicians, both panel and paint, and I had administration staff sit in on those training sessions. So I've been to every training session that we've done with the guys, and I find it invaluable, even for myself. Like, I still deal with customers out front, and just to have that knowledge, to know that I don't have to refer everything back to a tech. I can answer some of those questions, and I think it's important that all my administration staff are able to do that. So we all do the training. So we all sit in, we all learn where the modules sit. As far as, so the question was, my favourite delivery method would be face-to-face, although that's changing now with the online, and obviously through the last couple of years that's been more difficult. So online is now sort of where we sit. Which ones are my favourite? The new technology courses. I learn so much from, like, I don't actually do the paperwork for it necessarily, but I actually get to sit in and learn where radar units are in a vehicle, and how 1 degree makes all the difference, and all those things. It really makes a difference in how I can do my job as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess it also adds a degree of expertise across the entire business.
Yeah.
Regardless of, if you're at the front desk or back in the shop.
Yeah, and I don't like, there's a lot of vehicle play, and it's a very stereotypical response that we still get it a lot, where we need to talk to a tech because you're not going to know what you're talking about. Sure. But in fairness, a lot of females may still portray that. And so I actually find it disconcerting. I would prefer to sort of go, well, if you'd like to get that information, that way you have it for next time, I'm happy to wait for you to ask that question. So rather than sort of go, like, empower people to say, you could, instead of deferring that question, find out the answer, so the next time you're asked, you're going to know the answer. So ideally.
Well, I guess that's a great shout out to, I guess, your entire team, considering they all do training, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
I guess, do you have any words for anyone considering starting the Road to Gold training, or just even I-CAR training in general?
Yeah, I think it's really important to understand that starting is the hardest place, like finding that start point. Once you've done that, you're over the first hump, and then you can always get the help that you need. Look internally at your own organisation. So don't just do something because somebody else has suggested this is really important for you to do. Look at what's right for your business and whether this fits with your business model. And then develop the plan, not only for the training, but to educate your clients as well, so that they understand why you've gone to the trouble to do this. It is possible to do it. It's hard. And then develop that team atmosphere, so that everybody creates that buy-in. We certainly didn't have it at the start. It's taken an awfully long time, and we do have it now, and I will fight tooth and nail to hang on to that, because I spend a lot of time industry external to our business. fighting for what I believe is right in the industry, or what we believe is right in the industry. And one of those things is the techs that we use, and I do prefer to call them techs, because literally what they have to work on is so important these days. So it's really important for me that they're recognised as the intellectual people that they have to be in this industry. So
yeah. Well, that's an invaluable insight. Thank you so much. That's pretty much all the questions we had today for the Get to Know Gold. Again, thanks so much for your time, and I'm sure this will definitely be something that other gold shops will look forward to in terms of inspiration.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. Bye.